Alright, this should be recording. Alright, this is for me. This is really for me. But I have been doing so much searching as to find out how do you use the garment maker in Unreal Engine and have it, I'm sorry, the garment maker in 3ds Max and have it import to 3D. You know what I'm talking about, Unreal Engine. And I've gone online and I saw all types of different techniques, styles, which are very good. But I just want something quick and dirty. I want to be able to have Garment Maker export like it should using, what is that, FBX, and have it show up correctly and working just fine in Unreal Engine. I have been searching everywhere and I think I figured out how to do it. So again, I'm recording this because I don't use these type of softwares all the time, so I could forget. But for all the times that I've gone on YouTube to be able to find out how to do things, I just want to give back. So here I go. You're looking at my screen here. You're also looking at where I'm playing this music here. I definitely suggest, if anybody likes video game music, go to Smash Custom Music. And well, I'm not really giving a plug for them, but I do use the website a lot, so oh well. So the first thing you want to do, I'm going to show here in Unreal Engine this one problem. I'm going to click on the screen. Alright, so I can move the man. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me hit play. Alright, so I can move the man. Come on, hit play. So I can move the man. Alright. Of course, I did not create this man, but I did create that man right there. He's a shadow. And he's wearing some orange funny jumpsuit thing, which happens to be just a texture from the starter kit. So I just threw it on his clothes. I mean, for the funny thing about it, it kind of gives a pretty cool design on his clothes. But here's the funny thing. Look at his back. He's assed out. Why is it doing that? Alright, so the simple reason is because 3ds Max creates these, I think, reverse UVs when you're doing those garment maker things with the cloth. And Unreal Engine doesn't like it, so it doesn't show it. So how do we fix that? First off, let it be known that I really care less about the animation. That's why you see him just flapping his arms. But I'll do something a little different. So let's get out of this here, and let's now go to 3ds Max. Alright, so this is my model that I created here. Alright, rudimentary model. I'm going to put some clothes on him. So as I do this real quickly, the main thing I want to keep in mind of is it's a lot of carelessness I have. But I'm just going to create something real quick and dirty on him. Real quick and dirty. Okay? And he's a guy, yes. He's a guy, but I'm going to put a dress on him. Okay? Just so that when the animation is happening, you can be able to see the effects of it when and how it messes with the clothes in a positive way. Alright, so again, you'll notice that I'm not doing anything as lining it up and everything. I really don't care. So what I did was I created lines. I guess this also happens to be like a lesson of how to do garment maker. So let's get started with that, as we already have. I'm going to right click on the lines. I'm going to go to clone. I'm going to go to copy. I'm going to hit OK. And then I'm going to use the move tool and then move this to the other side. Okay. After that's done, I'll go up here and click on modify. And I'll go down here to attach. And then I'll attach the first one that happens to be colored purple. Once I wave my arrow over it, it happens to be yellow, and I will click. Now these two are put together. They're attached. I'm going to take the attach button, click it off, move back up to vertex, Once you do that, you get to see how all the vertices are white, all the angles and everything. I'm going to highlight them all, and I'm going to break them. Once broken, now I'm prepared to do my next step. My next step now is within the modifier list, type in garment maker. Alright, so now we're getting to the good parts. Underneath garment maker, you click on the arrow to expose it. Now, here's the trick. You go to panels, and you make sure to have this panel be the back panel. Now, the UVs don't seem to want to shine right in Unreal Engine, so how about we do a little trick? How about we simply just rotate it? When we rotate it, we want to make sure that we're able to I hope I didn't just cut that off. I'm recording, so okay, the thing's still blinking, so I'm recording. Good. When I turn this around, I want to make sure that I look down the bottom and that the Y is at a 180-degree angle. It must be a 180-degree angle. Now, could I have just typed this in? Yeah, I could have, but sometimes I forget. Whatever. Alright, so now that I have it flipped over at exactly 180 degrees, the UVs are going to shine the correct way like it's supposed to. Now, I can be able to move these. So yes, you would move this red one right over top of the first panel. But before I do that, I like to make sure that the first panel is the one that's going to be at the front. So you'll see how I'm doing this. I'm going to click on the first panel, go to move, and I want to be able to see on all my views that I'm going to move this to the front. Now, I can be able to take this second one and line it up. Now again, I didn't draw it perfectly. And you're going to see the problems. You're going to see the problems of why and what happens when you try to do your garments, and the errors that you will incur when they're not even. Okay, so now they're all lined up. If you're a seamstress in any way, I think you can picture what's going to happen the next time now. Alright, so after panels, I want to go to seams. And I'm going to put the seams together. Now again, this is not even. So what's going to happen is you're going to get some errors. And I'm happy to do this. Click on each one of the angles. Well, not the angles, but the sides. As you do it, you'll see it's a red line. You should see it's a red line. And then hold the control key on your keyboard, provided you maybe a Windows user. God bless you if you are. And then you can be able to have the two lines both highlighted in red. Click on create seam. Alright, now if there was a problem, the seams would actually crisscross. If that should happen, then click on reverse seam. Alright, so again, if you ever made clothes, you'd know that you want to create seams where the clothes won't go through you. You're not going to create a seam where the arm would stick out, you know what I mean? Alright, so this is exactly what I was talking about. Just because they're uneven, just hit on reverse seam and you will fix it. I'm going to do this for all the sides. So as I do it, I'm going to, of course, be mindful to do the left side as well as the right side. Crisscross, reverse seam, turn it around, and let's now get the last. When it's like that, you find yourself maybe hitting on some of the other lines. When that happens, you know what to do. Just click outside of it and try it again. Alright, so now the clothes are seamed together and everything is looking good. Now, here's a little something that you may not understand, but is the most important thing. Where is it now? Where in the world is it? Oh, okay, it ain't here because I didn't put it there yet. So now that the garment is all set in place, go to the modifier list and type in cloth. You just want cloth in this manner. You don't need M cloth. Once cloth is there, you'll see all the different groups. Again, don't need these groups. But you just want to be able to make the cloth. I'm going to go down here, and the first thing I want to do is I'm going to uncheck use sewing springs. For some reason, when that's checked off, the clothes don't come together like they're supposed to. Alright. Now I can be able to change their properties. When I go to object properties, you'll see that line 002 is here. Now that really should be called dress. I mean, if you really want to be anal about it, I guess you can close this out, and on the left side, just rename the whole thing so that you have an understanding on what it is you're looking at, what you're doing, and stuff like that. So now that it's called dress, I can click back on the dress and go back up to object properties, add objects, add the model. And the model is going to be the thing that's going to be the collision. So then click on collision object. Now the depth and the offset, I always leave that to be 2 because I just like the way the clothes kind of hang off the model. If you left it at 1, it'll be skin tight, which can be cool if you want to do that for some of your models. Back to dress. You don't need it to be inactive. Go to cloth. Go to preset, let's just play around and say cotton, and well, there you go. Okay, so now we have everything working the way that we need to. Now look what I just did. I scrolled down to garment maker, and these type of warnings scare me, okay, because as I was learning this, I would always do something good and then go down here, refuse to read the warning, and then I would mess everything up. But when you're working with a typography, everything that you're doing down to that typography, if it changes, it messes up the entire typography. But you have to know what you're doing. So I'm going to click yes. And this right here, this is a great secret. Hit mesh it, just to be sure that the clothes that you're creating turns into a mesh. See, again, Unreal Engine doesn't seem to like objects that's not meshes or anything that can really work with. And Garment Maker, if you think about it, is really just a composition of lines. So when you hit mesh it, it don't look like it did anything, but again, you're making sure that you're turning this thing into a mesh. Alright, now that you've done that, you can go back up to cloth. Hit simulate local just so that you get an idea on how it looks. Alright. So dude here, it has his lavender dress. Alright. Okay. Fine, he has his lavender dress. Whatever. And now we're going to simply just hit Control Z or your undo function and put it back the way it was. Now, your next step would be to just hit simulate. Your clothes would then bake. You know, it will bake on the character so that whatever animations that you're going to do, the character will have the clothes doing it on that animation. But first, let's look at our animation. I already did an animation. I'm going to hide the dress so that you can see it. I'm going to scroll this so that you could be able to see that he's simply just putting his arms to the side and raising his leg up. You'll notice I'm not really caring about the animation at this time. I know how to fix it. But that's really the main thing I want to be able to see. I want to see this character move in the clothes and how the clothes would react. Is it going to move right and all that kind of stuff. Oh, once again, this is starting all the way from 20 to 30. You may be wondering, why do I have 0 through 20 to be absolutely still? If you think about it, he's not actually still. I have him moving just slightly. But the reason why he's still is so that the clothes would have enough frames to merge onto him. If I were to start moving him during the merging of the clothes are going to get messed up. So I like what I see. And now it's time for me to simulate. Oh, by the way, make it so that you see your dress. Oh, I guess it counts too. I'm going to go up to rendering and I'm going to give the dress an actual color. If you think about it, when you create something in 3ds Max, it comes with a default color. But I see that the program really likes for you to be able to create materials and for you to put that material onto the object that you created. So I'm going to Material Editor, Compact Material Editor, and I'm simply just going to choose purple here. Great. Now I can close this out. Now finally we can be able to hit simulate it. Alright, so as you can see, it's not perfect, but I'm not going for perfection at this point. My purpose is really just to see how are you able to get the clothes animated on an object using the garment maker and being able to put it in Unreal Engine. So I can work with all that, the clothes and everything. When I made the neckline, I knew the neckline was way too much, you know what I mean? So getting something like this would be what I would expect. Alright. You know, to, to make it better, how about we could just say this is a bald-headed chick? Alright, yeah, okay, fine. Let's change it. So this bald-headed chick right here looks pretty alright with a purple dress. Alright, so that's big step number 2 that was actually completed. When I go back, you'll see everything is okay with the clothes. Now, let's do the next important step. Let's export it. Let's go to File, Export. Oh, wait. Let's just make sure that we export everything. Oh, and by the way, when I do export everything, please notice that the bones, the actual skeleton, all the pieces of the bones that I'm showing on the left side, I have them hidden. I believe if you don't have them hidden, all those bones are going to peek through the model in Unreal Engine and you can be able to see them. And don't worry, just because you hide the bones does not mean that the functionality of the bones moving is going to fail because you hid them, because it's not. Alright, again, so now we have the model, we have the dress showing. Let's export it. Go to File, go to Export Selected, and make sure that you're choosing Olympic. I'm saying that right, yeah. So, I'm keeping in mind on where this is going. This is going into my Documents folder, 2005 of 3ds Max, and Export. I'm going to name this Woman, yes. So now we're going to hit Save. Alright, this right here is important. I've been realizing that I would go to some tutorials and people would change some of the values here. My main thing is keep the coordinate system to be Y up. Keep the format to be Ogawa. The reason why is because if you're doing your models and building everything just right, you always want to make sure you're zeroing everything out. That means you zero your X down here, your Y out here, your Z out here when you're building. When you do that, everything is going to be set exactly the way it needs to be. Okay, so the animation range is 20 through 30. That's all I want. Everything is set here the way it needs to be set. I'm not changing anything, and let's export. Great, it has exported. Now, let's go and move to Unreal Engine. Within the Unreal Engine, I'm showing you the wrong model, you know what I mean? The wrong type of model. This is what I like to do in Unreal Engine. I like to, when I'm working with something and I happen to like play around or mess up a lot, I like to go to File, open project and open the same project that I was just working on and simply just say don't save, and then that's my way to renew everything. As I renew, I'll just calmly, patiently wait for the Unreal Engine to load back up. By the way, I am using the Unreal Editor 5.7.2 version. You'll notice that the name of it is called UE4 Test because I started out this test in the latest and last version of Unreal Engine 4. So I said, why not? I'll just move it over to 5. So at this time, yes, I'm using 5.7.4. Alright, so here's the model. I'm going to go to the content drawer. I'm going to go to add. I'm going to go to import to current folder. And now I'm going to look for what I was working in. Where I have it saved as in documents, in 3ds Max 2025, export, and I'm going to look for woman ABC. When I double click on woman ABC, here are some important things to change. Import type, change it to skeletal. Looking at everything else, you know what, I'm not even going to care, but frame start, fine, change it to 20. No need to have extra frames. Also, too, this is a very good way to take one file that you create in 3ds Max and put all of your animations onto that one model and put animations such as your walk animation 10 to 20, your run animation 21 to 30, your attack animation 31 to 40. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to scroll down. And the next thing to change is where it says preset, change it from Maya to 3ds Max. Oh, up here, create materials. Now for some reason, I kind of think this is not going to work, but if it don't, that's cool. I am not caring about that right now. That's not my main concern. So I'm going to hit import. Alright, so now it's going to import everything. Let your computer have the chance to be able to process all the information it shows. And again, some things are going to come up where it's going to be problematic, but again, not caring. I'm going to move this one right here where it says woman animation, animation sequence. I'm going to grab this and I'm going to drop it onto the scene. And it is dropped. Right here where it says rotation, I'm just going to click inside and type 90. Make her stand up. Where it says scale, I'm going to just say 1.5 for each of the X, Y, and Z values. Alright, so she's big enough. And lastly, so that you could be able to see her clothes, I want to go to element 0 and change the material ID to something that was a preset. Again, I really don't care. I'll just use this one, table round. Alright, so as I chose the preset, that's again just for the clothes. So again, if you can remember, I was trying to include the red element, you know, the color of the dress. For some reason didn't work. I don't know why, but that's not a concern. I'll figure that out. I'll fix it. Alright. So now I'm ready to play it. I clicked on the screen and you see her, she's moving. You see the dress. You see how the clothes are working. Now the biggie, is her ass out? Let's see. Nope. Her ass is covered. Very good, very good. So, actually, it's nothing to be able to take a model like this and of course make it be in place of the actual mannequin that you're controlling and, you know, give it the run, give it the walk, you know, all the different type of actions that you can apply to it, and the clothes will be on there. And I just used Garment Maker. And I just imported it correctly, and I just did the UVs correctly, and all that other kind of stuff. Oh yeah, and I meshed it. So, yeah. Again, this is really personally for me because I don't use this a lot. I forget things. But I've been going to so many providers, so many content creators on YouTube, and I just feel like I have to give back. This is something I've been looking for a long time. So, this is it. Till then.